Hi.
Hi.
Hello. I'm Jerico. I'm going to talk yung journey ko sa perfect na CSS preprocessor. To start, sino yung familiar na sa CSS? Yeah. Yay! Lahat. So, everybody may experience sa CSS, at least yung CSS properties and CSS selectors. Kasi kailangan natin yan. So, to start, I'm going to talk muna. Introduce ko muna yung sarili ko. Ako si Jerico Aragon. I started as graduated ako ng multimedia arts sa may Mapua and started my job, first job na as a graphic designer. From there, nag-shift ako dun within the company, nag-shift ako sa exclusively being their only front-end web developer for 2 years. So, dun galing yung majority ng experience ko on front-end development. Tapos, after 2 years, parang wala na akong next step for front-end. I got to the point na kaya ko na siya, any task, kaya ko gawin. Feeling ko lang. Tapos, nag-apply ako as a senior back-end developer for another company, which nakuha ko naman, and dun nahasa yung back-end skills ko naman, which is not. Tapos, after that, yung latest, yung ngayon, ko, senior web developer, bali, it's a full stack na post, and a solutions architect sa Netfluence Corporation, which is dyan lang sa One Corporate Center. Di ko alam. Sa Ortigas siya. There. So, that's me. Okay. Ang start is, yung journey ko sa perfect na CSS preprocessor, parang yung mga jobs ko din. Nag-start ako sa plain old na CSS. Everybody starts here. Personally, CSS yung least intimidating na language for me. Parang mix lang siya ng may selector ka, tapos ito yung properties niya. And that's it. You basically can do yung mga gusto mo, just having a CSS cheat sheet. Lagyan mo ng border and all. Tapos, since I code a lot of websites, exclusive na front-end lang yung ginagawa ko. At some point, nag-ask na ako sa sarili ko, may better way ba to do this? Kasi tedious na siya eh. I started looking for shortcuts. And this is where the struggle starts. Kasi eto na yung point na I have to choose yung madaming choices for preprocessors. Say less SAS stylus. I'm not sure if na-heard nyo na siya. Pero if you're like me, I want the perfect solution. I don't want to invest to something na hindi ko magagamit a few weeks from now. Especially sa front-end development, di ba? Parang matutulog ka lang, pagising mo, may Angular 2 na, tapos hindi siya backwards compatible. And then, now what? So, naging struggle siya for a while kung ano yung gusto ko gawin. Ano yung gusto ko gamitin. Similar with Git and Mercurial, parang, but may choice pa, and I end up using Git for all of my projects.
Good for you.
And then, ayan, nag-start ako, ang first choice ko to try is yung less. Yung less, parang natural extension siya ng CSS. It has yung brackets, tapos may nesting lang siya and variables. And that's isa yun sa main pain point ko sa CSS na lalo pag module yung gagawin mo, class name, palalim siya ng palalim, and you have repetitive na talaga yung typing. Pero may gut feel pa din ako na hi sir. May gut feel pa din ako na yung feeling na I might have chosen the wrong tech. Hi sir, your name? Arvin. Hello. Siya yung kasama. Nag-start na kami. Konti lang naman. A few minutes. And then nag-switch ako sa SAS. Ito yung time na hype ng Ruby on Rails a few years back. So, yung default na CSS preprocessor ng Rails is SAS. So, I ride on that hype. Tapos, ginamit ko yung SAS exclusively din sa yung front-end na experience ko, which is yung 2 years using a static HTML generator called Middleman. Familiar kayo sa Middleman? And lastly, ang hinuli kong tinry is yung stylus. This is the Node.js hype naman, which is recently lang din. And this is, we're actually, at this point, I haven't actually looked for anything else kasi ito na yung nakasetup sa laptop ko and na-figure out ko doesn't really change. Ang mahalaga pa rin is yung output ng preprocessor. That's a keyword, preprocessor. It's still, ang mahalaga pa din is yung CSS na napoproduce niya, which is yung kayang basahin ng browsers. What I realized is that preprocessors won't help yung architecture niya. It's not a magic solution na when you use a preprocessor, automatically organize na yung code mo. Automatically modularize na yung HTML mo and yung classes mo. It all makes sense na pag umupo yung developer, basa niya agad yung. It's not that way. Madaming pitfalls ang preprocessors, lalo yung sobrang nested na nesting. Napagdaanan ko yun, yung CSS selectors ko siguro mga isang dangkal sa screen, yung compiled CSS. And yun yung pinakamahalaga eh. Ang mahalaga is yung planning. With planning, even sa plain na CSS, you can actually do a good CSS architecture without even using preprocessors. Ang preprocessors nandiyan lang siya to solve a pain point which is yung selectors or kung ano yung pinaka-tedious dun sa workflow mo. May isang idea na when you introduce a new solution, you also introduce a new problem. Sa preprocessors, yung nesting way too much, being too specific sa CSS selectors. If you don't know, CSS actually means cascading style sheet. And when you nest too much, parang you're going against dun sa nature ng CSS, which is yung cascading yung styles. When you select a paragraph, magkakascade siya sa lahat ng paragraph within the HTML. And lastly, yung bloat. Sobrang prone sa bloat pag naka-preprocessor kasi you just include everything and then compile siya sa isang single na style.css and gugulat ka, 500 kilobyte na siya. Especially for big sites, which is sobrang bottleneck. After ko matry lahat ng CSS processors, ang naging question ko sa sarili ko is, does it really matter? Does it matter yung choice ng kung mag-less ba ako SAS or stylus? And ang conclusion ko, it does not. On a technical level, when you see it, at the end of the day, yung compiled CSS pa din yung mahalaga. Yung how it kasi yun yung nire-render ng browsers. Pero zooming out a bit more, dun sa big picture, what really matters is yung by using a CSS processor, mas nagpo-produce ka ba are you better at producing more value? Or dun sa, nakukuha mo ba yung end goal mo more than dun sa technical stuff? The right question is not yung, am I using the right CSS processor? Ang right question pala is, this preprocessor helps me reach my goals easier, better, or faster. Hindi masyadong, pag developer ka, prone ka to focus on the technical side, na makakalimutan mo yung coding is just a means to an end. Focus on what matters in yung conclusion ko. Lastly, yung advice ko sa mga mag-start pa lang diving into CSS use what works best with your workflow. You can actually try it all kasi madali lang siya matutunan. Madali lang matutunan lahat yung preprocessors, and ang mas mahalaga is yung self-awareness mo na does this tool work for me, not against me. Kasi I think yun yung important part kasi it's a constant cycle sa development. there will always be new technology and yun yung constant na question mo dapat sa sarili mo. Kung natutulungan ka ba nito ma-achieve yung goals mo, hindi dahil ito yung hype na yun. With that insight, hindi ka may easily swayed sa mga hype. Let's say may bagong technology, that's another distraction, that's another rabbit hole to get into. So, distracted ka na naman sa end goal mo, focus ka na naman sa technology. Pag nakuha mo na yung thinking na lagi mo nang nako-question sa sarili mo na if it works for you, mag-iiba na yung mindset mo on the new tech. Hindi ka na may easily sway sa new hype. More on magkakaroon ka na ng more time to solve actual problems, more time to produce value, and especially more time to have fun. Yun yung pinaka-conclusion ko eh. Kasi this thing, yung insight nito does not just apply sa CSS preprocessors. It's more on a mindset ko on as a developer na distraction lang yung new technology. Parang mas better ako, nasa better position ako to decide if I'll adapt it or not, hindi dahil sa opinion ng iba, more on dahil makakatulong siya sa akin. And that's it. It's a lightning talk.
Thank you, Jerico. Sino may tanong? You have any questions?
Oh, meron.
Ano yan?
Hindi, nakaka-intriga pa rin yung choice.
Ang choice.
So, yung tanong ko is, after SAS, stylus, stylus. Bukod dun sa sinabi mo, kasi yun na yung nakaset up sa computer.
Yeah.
You can't help but compare. Diba? So, kung i-compare mong stylus versus SAS, ano yung kung meron kang isang something sa stylus like feature or whatever, ano yung ano yung thing na yun na natatalo ng SAS that made you really, parang
Stick with style.
cement your choice?
Sa stylus, mas lenient yung rules niya. Pwede akong mag-nest doon ng dash. Let's say, may module ako na same class na that module, tapos nag-nest ako ng ampersand dash title. Hindi siya magto-throw out ng error but i-render niya siya as is. I think okay siya, mas maluwag yung stylus in terms sa rules. Delikado lang siya, I think, sa mga, let's say, hindi ka experienced na developer kasi it can easily go out of hand. I think yun yung pros ng SAS pag you're starting from let's say early developer ka pa lang. Mas limited siya in a way na hindi ka makaproduce ng bloat na CSS. I end up using stylus pa din hanggang ngayon with a plugin called Preprocessor, which is automatic nag-append ng browser-specific CSS properties like -moz, -o. And I also use another library for stylus called JET, J-E-E-T. It's a grid library. It basically acts a function, magpo-provide siya ng function called call, C-O-L, column, tas everything now is a fraction. Let's say, gagawa ko ng 4 columns na div, call, tapos open close parentheses, 1/4, and automatic 4 columns na siya. Yes.
Does these tools help you to prevent errors?
Well, I think yung errors is more on dun sa discipline ng developer more than dun sa preprocessor. So I would say no, kasi kung alam mo yung architecture side, kung may planning ka and decisions dun sa kung paano may architecture yung isang CSS, that would prevent yung errors, hindi yung mismong preprocessors. Pero ang good thing doon, yung architecture na yun, pwede mo siya i-apply with or without yung preprocessor.
It's part 2.
Yes.
So in case of these tools or your style of development, or in case na nawala ka or something, is it easy for other people to adapt and to cover for you?
Especially for this type ng tools, I'd say yes kasi it's just a matter of compiling it, and they can actually use yung compiled version ng CSS mo and work from there.
Of course, kasi concerned ako dun
Oo.
sa delivery.
Actually, isa yun sa mga concerns ko lagi when I start a new project kung as a developer, kasi struggle ko din personally yung mag-a-adapt. May na-assign sa aking task na iba yung nag-start or already established na project na siya, and then I have to dive through dun sa code base, and iniisip ko kung paano ko i-structure yung, kung ako yung mag-start from scratch, iniisip ko paano siya ma-structure na it makes sense in a way na when a new developer sits on it, read the code base, mas mabilis niyang maintindihan na kung paano siya nag-work, kung paano nag-piece together sa isang big picture yung code. Ayoko kasi napipin down sa isang project na ako kasi yung nag-start, tapos hindi ko binibase yung job security ko sa dahil ako lang yung makakapag-maintain ng code. Ayoko na. Ayoko na.
Kasi ano din yun, parang risk din yun in terms of when someone changes or learning the code. Siyempre magkakamali din siya. So, pwede mag-cause ng something.
Ganun. Thank you for asking.
For a beginner, or not really beginner, pero first time gumamit na preprocessor, stylus ang i-recommend?
First time, I'd say yung less. Kasi may client side, siya eh.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of adding that script, tapos pwede niya na gamitin yung less. Tapos later niya na problemahin yung performance issues. At least magkaroon siya ng experience on how a preprocessor helps yung sarili niya.
Ang issue doon, it's good to get started with. But I've encountered a lot of websites na dinideploy nila. May nakakalusot na gano'n. I guess it's a matter of proper testing, QA. Hindi mo ma-help yun eh. Parang, they think it's so easy.
Gumagana naman eh.
Similar thing with React, yung JSX client-side compiler.
I see.
Yung deploy no? Compile on the server. So meron pa may ganun eh. May pros and cons yung how easy it is to get started.
Siguro proper awareness lang dun sa tuturuan mo dun. I-introduce mo dun sa less. I think mas prone yun sa mga self-learning na type na biglang na-distract on learning deeper.
Yung walang senior web dev. You can ito about it.
Aside from testing, ano yung pangalawang pinakamahirap na part sa paggamit ng preprocessors? Second hardest part pagdating sa mga
Try ko, ano yung question ulit?
Na-mention nyo kanina yung nesting,
Mhm.
software nesting, that is the hardest part that you do. Sa hardest most challenging part ba yun?
Ay hindi, actually yun yung pain point na pinaka-obvious na masasolve ng preprocessor.
Okay. Then what is the hardest part? What's the most challenging?
Using a preprocessor?
Yes.
Limited lang yung paggamit ko sa kanya eh. Mostly variables and nesting yung ginagamit ko, and at minimum functions. You can create your own function inside the CSS preprocessor. Tapos let's say tinype mo red, automatic ang output niya border red na yung border, red na yung text. It's mostly shortcuts lang talaga. Nasagot ko ba ng maayos?
Yes.
Sinong, maybe you guys have some kind of insight to share? Ano yung questions?
Hindi kayo nag-agree sa ano ko. It's okay.
I could start, but gusto kong i-share. Na-mention kasi ni Jericho na limited yung features na gano'n na. I found, SAS CSS ang gamit ko ever since. I started basically trying to make use of all the features. It's a completely different language. So inaaral ko the whole thing. Pag sa code base namin, usually tinatry ko gamitin lahat. Na-attract ako sa lahat ng features. Oh my God! Then later, you realize it's actually affecting the quality of the compiled CSS. So from there, parang unti-unti nag-prepare down kami. Dati kami mag-nest. Ngayon, yun na. No more nesting. We've started to adopt BEM, block element modifier, like architectural CSS convention. So hindi na kami nag-nest. And then yung sa katutak ng mixes, parang okay, masyado. Parang I think, maybe it's just me, pero parang yung roadmap, you start with na-excite ka kung gagamitin mo lahat. And then as you get better with SCSS and CSS, parang okay, gets to na kung para sa ito. So going back to Jericho's point, it's really about solving the pain points. So parang ultimately, at the end of it, gagamitin mo lang yung kailangan mo to solve the pain points.
It also plays yung sa question mo kanina kung mas mabilis ba ma-adapt ng another developer. Pag complex yung ginagamit ng features ng CSS processor, yun yung type na the developer has to learn yung SAS before niya matouch yung code mo. Kaya ako personally din, as hindi na rin minimal yung nesting, actually hanggang isa lang yung nesting ko. And yung naming convention yung nag-improve sa akin eh. When you read about yung mga CSS architecture, OO, CSS, BEM, or SMAX, ganun, they teach you to the detail on how to actually, aside from CSS, paano may structure yung HTML mo. Paano may isolate yung per module mo sa HTML so hindi sila magko-conflict.
Awesome. Insights from anyone? Sino gusto magkwento? Alright. Thank you, Jericho.
Thank you guys. Thank you for listening. First time ko pala.
Divergent.
Medyo masakit.